Hamas fighters carry the coffins of 4 dead Israeli hostages, 2 of them children, on stage. An offensive propaganda message.
Offensive propaganda message?
How do you have the room to laugh at this? These people are excited for the death of babies. Hasan doesn't ban them. By Hasan not doing the bare minimum to police his live streaming community, he is actively and intentionally allowing it to happen. When any streamer sees disgusting rhetoric in their chat, they should be instantaneously banning them. You only have so much responsibility for your audience. This is one of those pieces of responsibility. Not banning people celebrating the murder of literal babies is his active support of people saying those words. All right, guys. I wasn't going to talk about this, but everybody in my chat's bullying me today into talking about this H3 video. Not that I'm not interested, because I am. But I was like, hey, let's do other fun stuff. Like, check out my gaming channel. No, Papa Cut, no! Get back over there. Talk about Ethan. Talk about this guy right now. Talk about him. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about him because I want to, obviously. This is what I was interested in talking about. I just thought you guys liked me for me. But it's okay. It's all right. Because he sent me these stickers, and I got to pay him off. I got to defend Ethan. I got to pay him off for these stickers. I had it upside down. The stickers. It says Teddy Fresh. Let's talk about Ethan. Let's defend Ethan. But you want to know what? Hold on a second. Just wanted to put my Teddy Fresh on. See? Teddy Fresh shirt. You know, shop Teddy Fresh on the Teddy Fresh website. You could use code PAPAGUT at checkout to get a discount. You get a discount. 5%. It's big. It's a big discount. 5% is a lot. And if it doesn't let you put the discount code in when you go to do it, just everybody email every single person on the H3 crew say, why doesn't my Papa Gut 5% discount work? That's a lot of money. 5% is a lot. If it doesn't work out, if it does not work out, message everybody on the H3 podcast, even interns. Find all of the people. This is a joke for legal purposes. The joke for legal purposes. Let's go. Hopefully this video is not sad because that whole intro was obnoxious.
A diva, and by that
Oh, what the hell?
Everyone, I'm back with a little update for you guys
This sounds like it'll be fun.
regarding Hasan. First of all, I want to thank everyone for watching the content nuke and enjoying it.
It was fantastic. Thank you so much.
And I'm glad to see that a lot of people have really resonated with the message.
Yeah.
One of those people, unfortunately, is not Hasan Piker,
So true, King. That's so true.
who has continued to spread Hamas propaganda and even elevated his brazenness.
Terrible. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the guy having terrorists on his stream was going to keep doing it, you know?
Take, for example, the tragic story of the Bibas family.
Yep. I heard about this. This was actually terrible. Like, everything aside, I saw a post the other day. It broke my heart. So they, Hamas captured all of these people, and then they let the dad go, and then this is actually really terrible. I believe they just sent the bodies of these 3 back. But then my understanding is they didn't even give her body back. They gave the wrong body back. And it's just such a terrible and horrific and like heartbreaking situation. And I think it's also okay to keep in mind that, you know, Israeli children aren't the only ones dying here. Palestinian babies are dying too. Palestinian families are dying too. It's all heartbreaking. Any death, especially of a child, is heartbreaking. You know, adults dying is it's terrible. But like children dying is just like absolutely tragic. And so that's why the war needs to end. Right? Because like it's despicable. It's disgusting.
The dad, 2 kids, and the mom were all taken hostage on October 7th after the grandparents were murdered in their home.
Jesus.
The children, 8 months and 3 years old, was kidnapped with their mom, and the dad was kidnapped separately.
I hate to say it, but I mean, it would have been better if they killed the parents and let the kids go. And I don't say that, like, nobody should have had to die. Nobody should be dying, but like, at least spare the babies. You know, spare the babies.
Hamas murdered the children and their mom in captivity and recently just returned their corpses.
How do you kill a baby? How do you kill a child? Like, you have to legitimately, like, how do you... I don't know. It's like, that's completely inhuman.
To Israel. Let's take a look.
What the hell is Hasan wearing here?
At how Hasan reacted to this tragic update.
As music blares, Hamas fighters carry the coffins of 4 dead Israeli hostages. 2 of them children, the youngest to have been abducted on October the 7th.
It's terrible.
On stage, an offensive propaganda message blaming Prime
Offensive propaganda message? Offensive propaganda message?
I don't know, man. I feel like this is one of those situations where you just can't even muster a laugh up. Like, how do you make a joke out of this situation? How would you have the room to laugh at this? Like, in your emotional, even if you disagree and don't think whatever that was propaganda, it looked like it was Netanyahu, whatever, I don't know. How do you have the energy to laugh here? I don't think it's a hot take. Like, I mean, I know the internet is full of people that are like very non-empathetic, but I mean, how do you have the energy to laugh at any of this? Whether it's Israeli children or Palestinian children, it's disgusting. And it should really tear through you, because these are children. They have nothing to do with the war. They have nothing to do with anything. They weren't alive. They're not cogs in the system. They're fucking babies. They're all babies on both sides. I just don't know how you would have the energy to laugh here. It's just disgusting.
Offensive propaganda message?
Hasan has it in his heart somehow to laugh at the coffins of 2 slain children at the hands of a violent terrorist organization.
And I feel like it's so interesting because, like, this isn't just Hasan's community. It's also some, like, the more edgier communities too. But there are a lot of young people they lack empathy. Young people tend to lack empathy. At least that's my experience. I've gained it as I got older. Younger me wasn't super empathetic, especially young men. But young people in general, I think, lack empathy. I think as you get older, you get the ability to look outside of yourselves. And they accept this type of behavior. They accept the type of behavior to laugh at somebody dying as long as they're in the wrong group. Babies, as long as they're in the wrong group. And it's just something to really keep in mind, that people like Hasan are no different from people like Nick Fuentes. Their audiences are full of a bunch of children that lack empathy, and they care more about ridicule and criticizing people, even if it's innocents dying, than they do about actually advocating for a cause. They don't care. And they don't care when it's in their direction either. Hasan doesn't care about Palestinian children dying. His audience does. They don't care about it. They don't give a fuck about that. But they know that they can't laugh at that. So they laugh at Jewish people dying. That's what they laugh at. They laugh at Israeli people dying. That's what they do.
According to the forensic experts, the children were strangled to death, murdered at the hands of Hamas.
Jesus, how do you strangle a child? You have to, like... Okay.
Likely because they didn't know how to take care of 2 young kids in captivity for 2 years. So instead of taking care of them, they chose to murder them.
The war criminal Netanyahu and his Nazi army killed them with missiles from Zionist warplanes. What are we doing? There is no lie here.
What?
This is correct. The fuck?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Is like, if you want to have the conversation, we can even do it right now and say, listen, the campaign of oppression that Netanyahu has been wielding or engaging onto Gaza has caused Palestinian people to be very heartless and dehumanizing of Israeli people because they are being treated the same. You can make that message the way I just said that, and people might feel a little heavy about it, but I didn't say anything disrespectful. But the way Hasan talks, it's intentionally to be as hateful and antagonistic as possible, and his audience loves it. They don't want to hear a delicate, like, intelligent, nuanced, sensitive take about what's going on right now. They want to hear about how it's okay to not care about Jewish people dying. What I said was supposed to be like a real world understanding of, like, the actions are still disgusting, but the collection of actions that happened to lead up to that point have created this situation. That's what I'm saying. What Hasan is saying, What he's trying to communicate to his audience is, haha, no, they deserve to die. That's the dog whistle. That's the anti-Semitism. And if you can't see that, you're a useful idiot that tries to be as charitable as possible to Hasan because you like the hatred and you like the violence that he talks about. You're not trying to lead to a better world. You're part of a collective group who intentionally and actively organized to not vote for Kamala Harris, who would have been better for Gaza. That's what you're part of. You're part of a system, the Hasan war machine, that wants violence to continue and go on so that he gets to talk about it and say, hey, I'm a good guy. He says that it's bad what's going on there, but that he does his best to make sure that the powers stay in place to make it as bad as possible so he can virtue signal and say, hey, guys, aren't I smart? That's all it is. It's just lefty MAGA. That's all it is.
Hasan wants us to believe that the only thing wrong with this is that they called him a Nazi, right? Obviously, it's the way that they're parading around this family of these murdered children, these innocent children. Can he really not see the tastelessness in this? The disrespect? Take a look at his chat. It's no better. The truth is offensive. Hamas has the best fits.
To the slain Israeli family, rip bozo. How do I get that poster? They snapped on that. That mural kicks ass. Dude, it was a family. Correction. Settlers, implying that children born in Israel deserve to be slaughtered.
Yes,
quote,
that's what
their
they
home? Lol. It is their home. They were born there. Whose home are they in again? Their home? Yes, it's their home. They were born there. The mom was an IDF spy.
It's so interesting because, like, obviously there's different taking of different lands and there's settlers, and there's like a very complicated history, more so than Hasan would like to let people onto. But there has to be a point where we like knock it off, because they're not saying like, hey, that's not really their home, because they're trying to have a nice deep conversation about how, Palestinian people were displaced. They just want to justify those people being dead. That's all it is. They do not care. They are looking for reasons to dehumanize literal babies, so they don't have to feel bad about those babies being murdered.
They were not civilians, and they used their kids as human shields. I really don't even know what to say about that one. I might call this person schizophrenic, but I'm afraid this is just what happens to your brain when you watch Hasan for too long.
True.
Hamas is fucking based, and I'm tired of people pretending they're not. Again, this is just a few examples from the 30 seconds preceding Hasan's statement.
That's insane. There's no way that person should, like... Why are these people not banned from his chat? I don't understand why these people aren't banned from the chat. If I have somebody come in here and like use the R slur, I ban them. These people are excited for the death of babies. Why are you not just banning them? That's how you keep these people out of your community. You ban them. Hasan doesn't ban them. By Hasan not doing the bare minimum to police his live streaming community, he is actively and intentionally allowing it to happen. When any streamer, and he reads through his chat, so he sees this, and he has plenty of money to hire mods. When any streamer sees disgusting rhetoric in their chat, they should be instantaneously banning them. As a streamer, as a content creator, you only have so much responsibility for your audience. This is one of those pieces of responsibility. Hasan not banning people celebrating the murder of literal babies, him not banning those people is his active support of people saying those words. He agrees. He has control. If the chat's going too fast, he could put slow mode on. He has people that he could pay to be able to go through his 30,000 viewers, his live viewers. Not all of them are even chatting. He doesn't want to. He likes this. He enjoys this. But if I go in there and say that Hasan is gay, I get banned. Why? Because he hates gay people. It's true. It's true.
I'll let the chat run for you at the end of the video, and you can take your time to read through it to see just how vile it is.
You'll notice that there is overwhelming support for the propaganda for Hamas, and zero respect shown for the dead children. Notice here, however, that one person says defended Hasan. Watch how quickly this gets moderated out of his chat.
Yeah, including Guardian, BBC, and other Western...
There it is. It's gone. Hasan claims he has no control over how his chat is moderated.
What does defendant mean, Hasan?
That apparently. Yet 90% of it is people celebrating the death of these kids. And the one person that has even the slightest bit of pushback is immediately moderated. After laughing over the corpses of slain children, Hasan continues to guzzle Hamas propaganda. And this reaction that I can only describe as nauseating. Take a look.
Now let's take a look at how the hostages were released. I wonder if Western media will actually show the release videos, because there was some interesting sites that were disconcerting for the Israeli state and their project overall. But let's see.
Omer was among 6 released by Hamas in Gaza this morning.
Yeah.
The 6 are the last living hostages to be returned in this ceasefire's first phase. The 22-year-old was paraded on stage. He'd been kidnapped from a music festival, and yet remarkably, he kissed 2 of the men who had been...
So what am I supposed to think about this, Hasan? Am I supposed to think that this guy loved being hostages, 6 of which were not murdered, like the babies strangled to death? I'm supposed to believe, and that's supposed to make me believe that the Hamas is actually good? Like, what are you trying to communicate here? That's what I'm talking about, bro. This guy's a psychopath, weird terrorist defender. He doesn't like Palestine. He hates Israel. This is weird behavior. To not understand what Stockholm Syndrome is fucking insane. There's movies about it. It's called It's called The Beauty and the Beast. Okay. What? He thinks they're best friends? This is insane. This guy's an actual threat.
No homo after, bro.
That's so funny, dude.
Straight up.
This is the problem with somebody like Hasan, is that like he hates Jews so much, his jokes are fucking terrible. You need to start liking Jews again so you can get a better ghostwriter, because these are fucking. That wasn't even funny. That wasn't even funny, dude.
Hey, Hasan, please give us your take. I mean, it's the same as the dudes who fucking dapped up the Hamas dudes. The dudes who dapped them up in the first ceasefire, do you not remember? And everybody freaked the fuck out about it. And they were like, oh, they must be drugged. Hamas is giving them drugs. And
Well, that might be true.
why they're dabbing them up.
Or it's Stockholm Syndrome.
Hamas gave them the drugs that make you dab up Hamas. It turns out that there is a new, even scarier drug out there that Hamas has in their hands. It's called the drug that makes you kiss Hamas.
That drug is called a gun to your head. And it's so
I don't know, man. You know, it's so interesting because one of the reasons I didn't want to watch this video is because I'm like very sick of and tired of hearing about Hasan. You know, and I think it's normal for a lot of people to get to that point where you're just like, okay, like I'm over it. Like, yeah, he's a bad guy. But somehow, some way, Ethan Klein is able to find and show us ways in which Hasan isn't just like a typical bad content creator. He's an actual disgusting threat to society. He's an actual disgusting threat to society. This guy is actually disgusting. This is insane. This is Hasan downplaying the actions of terrorists who strangled 2 babies to death. Okay. That's just incredible. I don't know. I could never. And like, to the people that are going to sit here and be like, yeah, but like it happens on both sides, which it does. If a Palestinian person dehumanizes Israeli people and babies, I could understand that, even if I disagree. If an Israeli person dehumanizes Palestinian adults and babies, I could understand that, not to the same degree, though, because Palestinians have obviously been feeling it worse. Hasan is not Palestinian. Hasan is American, okay? He's American. He's a white American. He doesn't have any emotional attachment to any of this. He isn't riled up by any of this. He's actively just trying to stoke anger because he likes it in his community. That's why he doesn't ban these people. He's disgusting. He's not somebody that's emotionally charged on the issue. He doesn't even care about anything.
so painfully obvious of a concept. I feel nauseated even having to say it.
Here you can see the head propagandist giving the hostage instructions. The hostage looks to his side to make sure he understands. Then the propagandist leans in to explain the strategy to the two terrorists on his left. And right on cue, the hostage leans in to kiss not one, but the two of them.
Oh, so it's not even Stockholm syndrome. The guy literally just had actual instructions given to him, or they would have killed him. That's what's happening here.
It's clear to anyone with a functioning brain that this was not done out of affection for his captors.
Of course, we don't need to even look at the footage. Just ask the hostage what he thought. Here's the hostage who was kissing him on the head. In Hebrew, it says, "I had no choice. The dogs made me do it." Hasan thought this was such a great point.
Damn, Jesus.
He even took to his Discord to share his thoughts. First, they had the drug that makes you dab Hamas. Now they have one that makes you kiss Hamas. I'm losing my mind. I don't know who else to share this info with.
Let me tell you something right now. I have become, in the past couple, like maybe the past few weeks, so radicalized against MAGA and so radicalized against left-wing MAGA, which is Hasan, in such a way that is very toxic for my mental health. I'm not even kidding. It's actually concerning. Okay, so I gotta, this just makes me so fucking worked up and angry. These people are so disgusting on both sides. They're so fucking disgusting. And it's so interesting because we always talk about like left-wing radicals. They're bad, but they're not as bad as right-wing radicals. I think that we're getting to the point where they are getting just as bad. You have right-wingers literally voting away their own rights, which are actually starting to learn that, which is why they're starting to reject Donald Trump. But you have this fucking psychopath that's pushing out propaganda. These men here, these Hamas members, strangled a baby to death and then held a gun to this guy's head and made him kiss him, or they would have killed him. Hasan knows that. And he's like, tee-hee, they have a drug that makes you kiss Hamas now, LOL. And he's saying this to his Discord. This is a multi-millionaire streamer with that doesn't have the friends to talk about this with. So he puts it in his psychotic Discord that he refuses to regulate as they all laugh at babies being strangled to death. This is fucking insane. This is actually insane. I feel like I'm going fucking crazy because anytime I talk about this, especially if I put this up on like some social media platform, I get the most fucking moronic like lefties shitting their pants over this. Every day it's some fucking idiot lefty or idiot right-winger that just shits their pants over like basic common sense.
A good place to start would be a therapist. The next best place would maybe be the NSA. More excerpts from the hostages say that they were forced to drink seawater, that they were giving rotten food, and that they were held in cages. Or, as Hasan likes to call it, hospitality. What gracious hosts they are.
Bro, every time they're releasing hostages, the next wave they're gonna be like, actually, I'm good. Like, I'm staying.
Well, I'm happy that the content nuke was able to make its way around and really influence people's thoughts on the matter. I am disheartened to see that Hasan is still...
We're getting ready for a round two, a content nuke part 2, baby. Hasan is a war profiteer. The more innocents die on both sides, the more subs he gets. Yes, absolutely. Hasan is part of the machine. Hasan wants you to believe that he's not part of the machine. Hasan loves it when Palestinian babies are killed. Hasan loves it when Israeli babies are killed. Hasan loves it. He loves it. He profits off of it. If this whole thing wasn't going on, Hasan would be irrelevant. He loves this shit. This gets him going. We always talk about like the war machine in America. Hasan is part of it. He's part of the war pipeline. He profits off of it so much. That's why he sows division. That's why he justifies babies getting strangled to death. That's why he sits here and he watches Hamas threaten a guy into doing something to make Hamas look at a captive, somebody who's just captured, and goes, yeah, see, he actually really loves Hamas. That's what Hasan does.
Spreading, without any care in the world, disgusting, violent, anti-Semitic, Hamas propaganda that dehumanizes Israelis and delegitimizes their suffering. As I said in the content nuke, we must always keep the plight of the Palestinians at the front of our mind. The point that I've made that is consistently lost on Hasan is that we have to care about everyone. You have to show empathy for both sides. You can't lie.
Yeah, he was losing viewers for October. Yeah, I remember that. He was averaging less than 20K, which is still a lot, but that's not very much for him. Then October 7th happened, he surged up, and now he's just maintaining that by just pushing into the hate.
Laugh over the coffins of slain Israeli children. because they're Israeli. Peace has never felt further away when people like Hasan are turning people against each other, fomenting hate, disinformation, while supporting radical, reactionary, terrorist organizations. Peace happens when both sides see each other as human, recognize the humanity in each other. That's when we come together and find peace. Hasan is doing the opposite. During this war, Hasan has poisoned the minds of many young people with the idea that Israelis are evil, that they are all valid military targets, that the babies are settlers. And this is the result: laughing over the coffins of slain children, unable to spare a mote of dust of empathy for innocents that were killed in Israel. And just like a radical extremist in Israel that says all Palestinians are valid military targets, which I would condemn a million times, and I cry and my heart bleeds for all the innocents that are dying in Gaza. Why can't you do the same?
I agree. Let's see Hasan's little idiot clap back against Ethan.
I should stop being a diva. And by that, I mean fucking threaten to dox people that work at Reddit. Threaten to dox random anonymous Reddit users.
Oh, he's talking about Ethan's valid lawsuit? Gotcha.
Okay? With frivolous defamation lawsuits with the express purpose of trying to get their private information so I can get my psychopathic audience to fucking go around and smear random people as anti-Semites. Because, you know, if you
So I have two things to say to that. Number one is, if it wasn't valid, then why did the H3 snark go on a hiatus? Number two, why are you constantly crying, bitching, and moaning to different Reddits to get rid of Hasan snark pages? Like, the only reason they don't exist is because Hasan cry bullies the fuck out of these Reddit pages and has his audience brigade them if they don't take down like the same infrastructure that Ethan has against him. There's no Hasan snark because it's not. Hasan is a crybaby little bitch. So he's sitting here. Oh, they're just random Redditors. It's not a big deal. Why do you care? All you do is cry. They're at a point now where like the LSF Reddit or whatever, live streamer fails Reddit doesn't put Hasan on there anymore because he cries so much about it. So he's sitting here like, oh, Ethan is such a baby. Dude, you've been doing this for years. Like, he's such a coward.
You criticize me correctly because you assessed the things that I'm saying, and it comes across like I'm attacking all of the pro-Palestinian groups, maybe even calling Jewish Voice for Peace capos, for example, okay, which is, you know, pretty good indication that you might not necessarily be on the side of the Palestinians here. And when people call you a Zionist, you turn around and you're like, well, that's defamation, that's anti-Semitism.
Yeah,
okay.
They're not just calling him a Zionist, but okay, Hasan.
Okay, well, you know, good luck.
Okay.
That's the non-diva position.
Crazy. Let's see the diva position is to cry, bitch, and moan to Reddit until they take down negative reviews of you. But like, let's see the debate, Hasan. Watch the Ethan thing.
It's so crazy how this guy spent his whole life talking about debate perverts are like the worst people alive. It's like the worst thing you can be. And here he is exhibiting like full debate necrophilia. He is a debate pedophile.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you right now, like, you could feel it in the air that the bubble's going to burst soon and something's going to happen. And I honestly don't think it's going to be good for Hasan because the beginning of this whole thing, the narrative disagreed with Ethan, and now things are slowly starting to change. So